Just wanted to come in and go over some charts from this week and see what I'm seeing. Go over some individual stocks of what I think is going to happen, or actually not what I think is going to happen, but what I believe is happening currently right now. So we'll start with the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq is heavily down. Not heavily, it's just a slight pullback. So you can see on the futures chart we got a big pullback here the past couple days. So selling, we had one day where we had a positive day, and then we had Friday, which we came back down into this demand zone off the daily from November 15th is the area that we were continually testing, which I thought was going to break off or break down, but this was support on the 18th, where it came down and found buyers, and the same thing happened on Friday. Came down and found buyers. You can see here, it came down, came up, they came right back down, and they bought it right back up. You can see once we skipped over VWAP, we got this big buying move here up into that area, and that was a big move because that was actually 497 to almost 10-point move all the way up there. Yeah, 10-point move there on the Nasdaq. Same thing with SPY. SPY is heavily down. It's showing here the selling from the top on the future side, and then we similar to the Nasdaq chart. We came down to this anchored VWAP. This is off of August 8th, and you can see the last time we touched it was January 13th. We made a high, and then we are here again, and the buyers stepped in and bought this again, and we are back down to the same area where we tested back down on the November 19th, December 18th, January 10th, January 13th, January 14th. So this may be a trend to go up and test the other highs again. So we'll see what happens. And then again, you can see, we look on the 1 minute. Let me get rid of VWAP. Actually, I'll leave it there. When we look on the chart here, you can see that we came down right into this area, and overnight we were testing it. We came into it again at the open, and as soon as we crossed over VWAP, we got that massive move up all the way up past the previous high. So we're back in the area where they were struggling in on the 27th of February. See the same idea. So we stopped out in the same area, but as I said, we have that there. And again, this is from, I have this one here, this anchored VWAP here as well on August 5th. I just wanted to have that there. I also wanted to review Microsoft. Microsoft, I don't know what is going on, but we have this support. You can see that we had that was being supported. It was virtual support, and now it looks like it's flipped to resistance. I want to say if we come up and reject 405, I would be short to trade it down to 388, because it seems like this is on a downtrend and hasn't been able to gain positivity and get a move up. You can see every single, since this drop here on the 29th, we haven't been able to gain anything. We right here, this area 418, it's a problem. Test, breakdown, and then they bought this. Remember again, like I said, the anchored VWAP, test, breakdown, and then here we came down below, found buyers, tested the anchored VWAP and shorted down. So you can see right there, that was the resistance, and we couldn't get it. So I could see Microsoft making a move down, possibly to this area. I don't know if this is going to happen, but that's where I could see it going down to. If they do not support this, or no buyers continue to support this area at 388 like they did here, then it could go down. So you can see how many times they defended it here. Came down, open, came down, buyers liked that price, And they just continue to defend this level here at 389, just above 388. They were defending that level. So we'll see what happens coming into the next couple weeks. Tesla, looking at big picture, I had this anchored view off from the election, because when the election started, we have the massive move off of Tesla. And since getting up there, everybody wanted to be a buyer on Tesla. If I bring up the volume, I can't spell. Oh my goodness. If I bring up the volume, look at the volume down here on Tesla. Volume was crazy high after the election. Volume is still very high. You can still see it's about 80 million. But this is now they've flipped. So with all that volume, I believe sellers are starting to take profit. And this anchored view out from the top, I wonder if this one is. I haven't checked that one, but this anchored view up from the top here has been showing selling support. So every time we've touched it, sell down, sell down. Buyers try to get above it, and sellers just absorb that, and they just said, we're taking profits. And look at that. And this was the final straw. January 31st, it just brought it right down, and they haven't been able to get back since. And I bet you if I anchor this, this is going to go all the way down. Yep, look at that right there. The next test, February 19th, and after that, it was right down to here. So this, we have to see if this is going to, this is a previous resistance. You can see this was a previous resistance here all through 2023, a large majority of 2024, and then we broke out. November 5th was the time that it broke this resistance and it went. So what you would like to see is this resistance to flip as support. That's why I put this green demand box, green box here. So we want to see if that happens. If that flips as support, then you could see it being traded up. But you have to be very cautious, because there may be still people trying to take profits off of these anchored VWAPs that didn't fully get themselves out of their position. And they may still trying to take profits on any of these bounces, just like how they tried right there and they just aggressively sold it down. So you have to keep your eye on that one. AMD, again, this is, if you want to short a stock, this has been a perfect short. Every single time they went up, I don't know who the big sellers are, but every single time it had an opportunity to bounce, it gets shorted. You got this move, and it got shorted down. You had this move, it looks really nice. February 20th, look at that, straight down. That was 2, 4, 6. What's the next one? 1. That's 7. 5. Wow, look at that. It's close to 20% move down. Absolutely nuts. What was that week? 10%, and white theft for 2%. And it's been getting beaten down over and over again. If you want to short something, you short any kind of pop, meaningful pop up to any anchored VWAP that's there, because you can anchor any one of these red candles and it seems like they're taking profit off of it and they're just walking price down. I don't know where they're headed to. They didn't respect this 618, which I thought they were going to. They didn't respect that. I have no idea where they're going to go. I remember October 2023 was the time when we started to get a move, and that was at 54. So 54 was the last time they had found buyers, but since then we haven't been able to see anything on this downtrend. So we'll see what happens. Maybe they might find something here, but I don't know, nor do I have an idea. Going into Uber. Uber here, I told everybody not to chase this Uber move, because you can see we got this move up. This is when Bill Ackman announced his position, brought it up, and then they said, okay, we're going to bring it down. And this was the entry. As long as you anchor that anchored V that as long as you anchor that anchor the candle from when we got that move, you could have got an entry here or off of this move up and trade up to the previous high. Because that previous high, it came right to the point there. 81.98. Came right there. As soon as it got there, sorry, 82. 82.10 is where we got to. After we got to 82.10, they tried again, and that was it. After that, the move down has happened. And now, it seems like they are using this previous Bill Ackman anchor we got from this candle as a resistance. So you see this big selling on the 27th. You want to see if they come up and if they reject this area again. So 77.68 down to 76.97. So if we can't hold these highs, they're going to go back and test these lows. And if these lows cannot hold, then we're going to see a move back down to this area where this may become possible support, because this was a previous resistance that it couldn't break. All right? So I believe that we may possibly get this move up over this anchored VWAP, but I'm not 100% sure. But that is the area that they have been buying pre-market. During the regular hours, you can see the past couple days they bought that and they moved it up. They bought that and they moved it up. But buyers could be getting exhausted because we are down on a lot of stocks. And then I wanted to go over Bitcoin. Bitcoin is broken down hard. So from the election, you can see all here, this area is being supported all through the election. Any area down here, they are buying. This is a great opportunity. They're buying. And once they hit this 100, 108, 104K, everybody's been taking profits. The profit taking has been ongoing all to now, where doesn't seem like there's any buyers in these areas, and we're gone down to here. Now, this was the previous, I can't remember what. Sorry, I'm not feeling the greatest. This is the previous anchored VWAP that they were supporting off of on the daily chart. This was from October. This was when we had the move. So this was around here, around 60K. I don't know if we're going to get down there, but that would be a perfect buying opportunity for the long term. But if you want to be short, and if they try and bounce this and VWAP gets rejected, or even this anchor VWAP gets rejected about 93, we may be going down to that anchored VWAP, and that's where the buyers may be, because there was a lot of people that wanted to buy up here, and everyone's saying it's going to 200K, 300K. But as of right now, it's in a downtrend. The support has been broken. So I say you short any bounces where you see any resistance. And this is the daily chart. And you can definitely see every single time this is consolidation resistance here. They couldn't get above it. And this was from one of these highs. They couldn't get above it. And finally, the seller said, all right, well, we'll take it down. We're selling. They just took it down. So that support has been broken. So that's some of the things that I just wanted to go over. For next week, I want to see if there's anything else that I wanted to go over. But no, that's about it. Oh, SMCI. We did go over this. We had very good week of buying momentum. Topped out. I don't know what this level was, why they chose 66. And then after that, it got the selling that the rest of the market got. So the chips got hit. All the semiconductors got hit. So you see this resistance that they tried to buy, and now there's just profit taking. And this is the support from the previous move up. So they may possibly hold this area. If you start to see a bounce and a failure, around this 50 area, that means this resistance is back, and we could see a test back down to this area at 27. So don't get caught. Definitely take a look at the chart and go over, look at the larger time frames, see what's going on, because you don't want to get caught in these downtrends and not take your profits just for long. But that's everything for today. I'm sorry I sound under the weather. I have been sick. I haven't really traded all week. But I hope everybody has a good weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.